In a coastal village near Constantinople, a group of seekers gathered beneath a towering oak, their faces marked with curiosity and concern. They had come to see Saint Makarios, a revered figure known for his wisdom and deep connection to God. Today, they sought an answer to a troubling question. How can it be, one of them asked, that sometimes during a storm, many people from different places travel on a ship and all perish together? Could such a bitter end have been destined for all of them? Saint Makarios, with his eyes closed and hands folded, pondered in silence. After a moment, he spoke, his voice calm yet weighty. Your question is difficult. Only God knows the depths of his judgment. But with his help, I have something to tell you. The seekers leaned closer as the saint began his tale. In ancient times, there was a wealthy shipping magnate named Theognostos. His fleet was vast, his sailors numerous. They traded, transported passengers, and engaged in all the work sailors do. But beneath the surface of their success lay a dark heart. They watered down the wine, adulterated merchandise, and if a rich passenger boarded, they often robbed him and threw him into the sea. They were men without compassion, consumed by greed and wickedness. Yet among them there was one, a sailor named Kyriakos, who after every crime felt a fleeting pang of remorse. He would briefly regret his actions but soon succumb to the allure of wealth, taking his share of the spoils. Saint Makarios paused, his gaze piercing. The Lord, in his infinite patience, waited for Kyriakos to turn fully from his evil ways. But the devil, relentless in his pursuit of souls, pushed them further into sin. When their wickedness reached its peak, God in his mercy decided to act, not out of wrath but to prevent them from worsening their eternal punishment. One day, after docking at the harbor of Sarid, they sold their cargo and prepared to sail for Constantinople. But Kyriakos hesitated. His wife had recently given birth, and he wished to stay for their son's baptism. His companions mocked him, pressuring him to join, yet he stood firm, hiring a replacement to take his place. That night, a storm unlike any other descended upon the sea. Thunder roared, lightning flashed, and a violent wind tore across the waves. Amidst the chaos, it was as if an unseen hand struck the ship, shattering it into fragments. All aboard perished, swallowed by the unforgiving sea. But on land, Kyriakos, safe in his home, suddenly clutched his chest and fell dead. At the same time, the hired sailor clung to a plank, miraculously surviving the storm. He eventually made his way to this village and told his story. Saint Makarios sighed. Why did they all perish? Because their sins united them in evil and their judgment was shared. Yet Kyriakos, though tainted, showed a spark of repentance. His death was different, not in the depths of the sea but on land at home. God spared him from the horror of drowning, granting him a less terrifying end. As for the hired sailor, he was innocent of their crimes. God's mercy shielded him, for he had no part in their iniquities. The saint's voice softened. My children, let this be a lesson. Sin breeds calamity, and even the fleeting repentance of one soul can alter their fate. Let us seek repentance sincerely, lest we too be caught in a storm of our own making. The seekers sat in silence, their hearts heavy with reflection. They left that day not just with an answer, but with a deeper understanding of the weight of sin and the boundless mercy of God.